Strength Through Struggle. What's going on, everybody? Shane here from Strength Through Struggle, and today it's gonna be a little different video. I'm not gonna be yelling at my phone. It's not gonna be really motivation. It can be if you're looking for some motivation. But I'm gonna talk about my experience with depression and how I deal with it day to day. How I got over being at my lowest. Just things like that. All right, so just to explain kind of what I went through. It was I've had depression for a long time, since I was young teens. But back then I didn't know what it was, and I didn't really want to say anything because I'm like, I can deal with it, So I've always dealt with depression. It just got more serious the older I got, and this depression also led to I didn't have a lot of self-confidence growing up. As a kid, I could barely look in the mirror sometimes. It was hard to just look in the mirror sometimes. I hated the way I looked, but I couldn't really change it. Like, especially as a kid, I was super active. My parents never let me eat super bad. I was just naturally a chubby kid, and I hated it, and it led to a lot of bad times for me mentally. But I think that was a part of the depression I experienced, and that I just didn't realize it was depression. And anyway, let's fast forward here to when I was at my lowest. All right, so it was last year, actually. It was last year, about middle of the year, I think closing into summer. I let it win. I let it get the best of me. 3 separate occasions I planned to commit suicide. I'm very glad I didn't go through with it, but I had 100% intention to kill myself. 3 separate occasions. Every time I did it, I'm gonna be honest with you, I thought of my mom. I couldn't do that to her, and I'm sorry if I cried throughout this video, but just thinking about it, I hate thinking about it. I hate thinking about everything that I went through, what my thought process was, and not only putting not just my mom, my family, but I don't think I couldn't have done that to my girlfriend. I put her through enough. When I went through all this and I was at my lowest, I made some dumb choices that jeopardized a lot of relationships that I had, not just with my girlfriend. But I tell you what, no matter what I did, how low I got, she stayed with me, and she stuck by my side. And man, I am thankful. I am 100% thankful to have her in my life. Her name is Brianna, by the way, in case you guys didn't know. I am 100% thankful to have Brianna in my life. I love her. Bree, if you're watching this, I love you. Thank you for everything you did for me and are continuing to do, as I'm trying to do better. But so back to what I was saying. I didn't really. It was like I was feeling nothing but feeling everything at once, and I started to do dumb stuff, and I stopped caring what I ate. I was, like I said, I was just being dumb all around, because I honestly didn't think I was gonna be here longer than a month. I was just kind of trying to go out with a bang, do things that the normal Shane wouldn't do. All right, because I did a lot of things that the normal Shane, the controlled Shane, would not do. Just the way I talked, the music I listened to, everything changed. The way I dressed, everything changed. And I really wish I could go back and kind of reanalyze what I was thinking, but I couldn't control it, man. I honestly, I don't know. I can't even tell you what I was thinking back then, besides I wanted to die. And it's crazy looking at me now and back then, because it's almost a completely different person. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I still struggle. Like, sometimes I feel myself slipping, and those thoughts creep back in. But I've learned to control them a little more. And what's really helped now is I've gotten my relationship with God a little better. Before, for most of my life, I was a little skeptical. I'm not gonna lie, I still kind of am, but I'm trying my hardest to believe. And it's just kind of not living for God. No, don't attack me here. I'm just explaining how I think, what's helping me. Not living for God, but living like I think God would want me to live. Helping people, trying to inspire, trying to motivate, just being a nice person, because there is definitely a shortage of nice people these days. All right, and when I was at my lowest and I was at the stage that I was just talking about, I was not a nice person. All right, the way I thought, I judged a lot of people. I really try not to judge people now, because you never know what someone's going through. I mean, look at, nobody knew what I was going through or thought that I was suicidal. Most people don't even realize I still am. I'm not suicidal. Let me backtrack that. I still deal with those thoughts though, and I have to manage them, and I have to actively try to put them below the surface. I have to try to not beat them, but like I said, just manage them, kind of make sure they don't win. And so far, I've been doing good. I just, honestly, the anchor for me right now is making sure I get to the gym. Once I get to the gym, even if I don't feel, I've forced myself to go many times, and every time I do, I feel so much better. That's what clears my mind, gets me going, gets me clear thinking for either content I'm gonna pump out, anything I'm doing the rest of the day. It's just, it grounds me. If I'm in a bad mood, I try to go on a run, go to the gym, do something physical, just get my mind clear, get the blood flowing, you know. It just really calms me down and grounds me. But when I was at my lowest, guess what I wasn't doing? Going to the gym. Like I said, I stopped caring what I ate. I stopped going to the gym, doing any sort of physical activity. I was a shell of myself. I mean, my body naturally sits around 205. And that's just maintaining. And I got up to upwards of 250. I've talked about this before. If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, I posted about it. I'm pretty open with it now. I accept it now, you know. I was in a bad spot. There's nothing to be ashamed of. But yeah, I ballooned up to almost 250 pounds, and that is not me. All right, anybody that knows me knows that I like to try to keep my weight and my health in check, because I grew up chubby. And like I said, I dealt with a lot of self-image issues. I was bullied. I didn't mention that earlier, but I was bullied for my weight, and that definitely didn't help. I don't really talk about being bullied that much, because everybody was bullied to some extent. But it did happen. It is something I went through. Definitely affected my thought process today, everything I've been through. But yeah, like I was saying, I didn't go to the gym. I wasn't caring when I was eating. I was hardly sleeping. I mean, I remember one night, I worked at, I had to go to work at 5 in the morning. Excuse me, I had to go to work at 5 in the morning, and I didn't go to bed till 3. I don't even know why I went to bed, but I was just sabotaging myself, because like I said, I didn't care. I didn't see myself being alive that much longer. But like I said, this is hard to talk about, guys. I'm sorry. I keep kind of looking away, but just thinking about how I could have affected my family if I would have went through with my thoughts. It's a tough thing, and I know there's so many of you out there that deal with these thoughts, these emotions, and they don't talk about it. That they're either afraid or they feel like they don't want to bother someone. And I know this is beating a dead horse, because everybody seems like they're an advocate for mental health these days. Is the cool thing to do. But sincerely, if you ever need to talk, you ever just need a vent, need advice or anything, You can DM me through Instagram at official STS. That's at official s.t.s. You can DM me through there, and I promise I will try to get back to you within a timely manner. I do work throughout the day, so if I don't get back to you right away, don't take it personally. But I just know there's so many of you out there that deal with these same things, and my heart goes out to you because some of you don't have the support system that I had. Even though I ignored them for a little bit, some of you don't have the support system that I had, and it breaks my heart. It honestly does, because I know what you're going through, and your mind is just being a jerk. For a lack of better terminology, your mind is just being a jerk. All right, you are worth it. All right, and I know it's not easy to think that whenever you're low, or you're dealing with these thoughts and these feelings, because it took me a while to realize that I had a purpose and I was worth it. I was worth this life. I'm worth actually succeeding. I'm worth being happy. Because sometimes depression isn't just I want to kill myself. Sometimes depression is I'm not worth even being happy. That's why you see so many people out here in abusive relationships, or just in a dead-end job, because they're internally self-sabotaging themselves, because they don't think they deserve happiness, so they don't actively seek happiness. They think they're not worth it, and it, like, again, that breaks my heart, because there's not much that can convince someone that they are worth it. It's something they have to do within themselves, and some people just don't get there before they get the other place, and it's not a good place to be. And I'll tell you what, one thing I want to address right now: people who commit suicide are not cowards. I don't care what any of you think, and I will fight you. I will argue, all right? I will not let this go. People who are feeling that, are that low, and they just can't, and they feel like they can't fight anymore. They are not cowards. They need help. And sadly, a lot of us aren't there to help them. Now, granted, that could be because they don't reach out, but if they don't reach out, you got to ask yourself, why aren't they reaching out? Do they think that I'm going to make fun of them? Do they think that I'm not going to care? And some of you, that's yes is the answer. Some of you act like you care, but you don't care. If I reached out to you right now, you'd probably say, oh man, that's crazy. Bye. Leave me on scene, leave me on red, whatever. It just, there's so many mental health advocates out there these days that don't actually care. And it irritates me. And these are the same people that will go out and say that someone that kills himself are cowards. All right, I mean, look, I've seen instances where people with families have committed suicide, and first thing you hear is, how could you do that to the family? How could you do that to his kids? Look, when you're that low, you don't think you have anything to contribute to your kids. You think you're just going to weigh them down. You think you're just going to weigh your wife down. All right? I thought that I was just bugging people. Like, I thought that nobody really cared. Like, even, I don't know why I am still alive. Like, I know I told you that it was ultimately my mom that stopped me. But at the same time, I didn't think she cared. And that's, again, a part of the reason that I'm trying to get my spirituality in check, believing something, because there has to be a reason that I didn't do it. Again, excuse me guys, I'm starting to tear up, but they're not cowards. You are the coward if you are not brave enough to come to terms with your own feelings and acknowledge that there are people out there struggling. And if you are not trying to help these people, or help the situation, help the epidemic of suicide, you're a part of the problem, honestly. I'm not saying you have to be out here running 5Ks and donating tons of money. I'm saying just reach out to the friend you haven't heard from in a while. Make sure they're doing okay. Reach out to somebody that's always happy. reach out, like, just there's a lot of things, there's a lot of warning signs that we don't realize. All right, so I'm just saying, be aware. Try to help. Try to be aware. You don't have to donate money. You don't have to do anything besides just be there. Be there for your friends. Be there for your family. Just try. All right, because I know when I remember exactly where I was when I got this text. I'm not gonna name them, but someone texted me one day and just said, excuse me. They just texted me and said, the last time they saw me, I didn't see myself. And they just wanted to check in. And they just wanted to check in and, you know, tell me they were there for me and that I could talk to them if I needed to. And that made all the difference. That made all the difference in the world. And I tell you what, I could have used that a couple times. I remember one of the times that I was planning on killing myself. I was planning on driving my car either off a bridge or into a tree. I was leaning toward the tree because then I can make it look like an accident, and you know, my family wouldn't have that embarrassment. Well, something pulled me over. I ended up pulling into a parking lot. It was probably midnight. This was the night that I didn't go to bed till 3. It was probably midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. I pulled into a parking lot, and I broke down. And luckily I was away from houses because I wasn't screaming, but I was screaming, but it was an angry scream. I was bawling. I hurt my hand that night, almost broke it probably, at least a knuckle, by punching my dash, my steering wheel. I had a terrible breakdown. I ended up having to go into Sheetz like that because I needed tissues. I didn't have any in my car. The one time I didn't have any. And that was one of those nights. I broke down because I knew that I was being stupid, but I felt like I couldn't control it. I felt like I was on the outside of looking in, if that makes sense. Like I was doing things, but I had no say in what I was doing. Like I wasn't in control of my own body. I was just walking around. I was a shell of myself, like I said earlier. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't control anything I was doing. And that night, I'll never forget this. I pulled over, and everything just flew out of me. And this wasn't the first night that I've done this, that this happened to me. One night I just got in my car and I started driving. I didn't know where I was going. I had no plans. I ended up in the parking lot of a place I used to work. And that was again a night that I planned on doing it. And I think I ended up posting something which was probably a subliminal cry for help. I posted something that hinted toward my plans, and someone texted me and made sure I was all right, but of course I lied, said I wasn't doing okay, or said I was doing okay, and they were just like, all right, just checking in. And I sat in the parking lot looking for something to cut myself. Luckily I didn't have anything sharp in my car, but I was looking for something. I honestly debated going into the place that I worked and getting a knife. I was close. I ended up leaving before I could. And that's just it's a crazy thought to think how low some of us can get unwillingly, and the recovery that can be made. I'm living proof that humans are capable of anything. All right. Like, and you might honestly never understand how I'm feeling. Well, you won't understand how I felt or what I'm talking about unless you've been to the point that you've wanted to kill yourself. Sorry, let me turn the light on, guys. Unless you've been to that point, you don't realize what I'm saying, the significance of what I'm saying. You don't realize anything, and you might think I'm a coward. You might think I'm looking for attention right now. I don't care. You know, I'm all about positivity, but sometimes you just gotta tell someone to screw off. All right, and you gotta be okay with that, because some people just aren't worth the time. Some people are just bad people, and some people honestly probably can't change. And you just gotta learn to deal with those people. And I've come to accept the fact that I've been through a decent bit at a young age, and I don't care if people think I'm looking for attention. I don't care if people think I'm lying. I know what I went through. People that were close to me know what I went through, and honestly, I'm happy. I'm happy and thankful that I am still here, and I have the opportunity to inspire, motivate, try to help people. Not just people that went through what I through, but anybody. If I can just get through to someone, make them help achieve little goals. If I can help someone that's going through what I'm going through, beautiful. That makes me so happy. I am ecstatic about that. But I just want to reach people. I just want to help. I want to be able to help anyone. All right, that's why I feel like I'm here. I'm here to motivate, inspire, and be successful with it. I want to turn this into obviously I'm trying already, turn this into a brand. I see people like my idol is The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I see what he's doing, how he's touching people, he's motivating people. And again, you might call me dumb for idolizing a famous person that doesn't give a crap about me. But look, he's done more. I've never met the guy, and he has done more for me than half of anybody that I know does or will do. All right, most of you act like you care, you don't care. And if you're one of those people and you've gotten this far in this video, I don't know why you're here. If you're here to make fun, just leave. Don't even watch my videos. All right. Now, for the ones that are actually here and watch this whole video and are genuinely supporting me, I want to thank you. All right, I want to thank you. You are the reason I'm doing all this. You motivate and inspire me to keep doing this. So I cannot thank you guys enough. If you made it this far, please go check out my Instagram. Give it a follow in case you guys ever want to reach out, talk about anything, you have ideas, anything you want to talk about, go over and check. It's at officials.t.s. Like I said, give me a follow, drop a comment on posts, anything you want to do. Just try to stay connected with me, guys, because I'm really trying to put in a lot of work here. I really want to help. I really want to help anyone I can out. So if you've made it this far in the video, please go check that out. Leave a comment on the video, leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. And again, I want to thank you for being here along on this journey that I am embarking on. And I'll see you all next time.